Welcome to the New Earth Entrepreneurs Podcast, where innovation meets sustainability. Building a better tomorrow today. We interview change makers and visionary leaders redefining success for the planet. Here you'll find inspiring stories and solutions that matter. Welcome to the New Earth Entrepreneurs.
Welcome to the New Earth Entrepreneur Show. Today's guest is Thomas Chepucavage, co-founder and CEO of Flow Aluminum. Flow Aluminum is transforming the energy storage landscape with its aluminum CO2 battery technology, a sustainable and scalable solution for reducing fossil fuel reliance. Their battery technology offers an innovative alternative to lithium-ion, aiming to meet the growing demand for energy storage and applications, from electric vehicles to space exploration. Thomas and his team recently won a $400,000 Advanced Energy Award and have set their sights on further innovation. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, excited to have you here and to dive into Flow Aluminum's technology and learn about the advancements you're making in energy storage. If we start with the overview and mission, Flow Aluminum's mission revolves around clean energy storage. Could you share the story behind the company's founding and the mission that drives your work in developing aluminum-based batteries?
Absolutely. So I was working with the Technology Transfer Office at the University of New Mexico, which is commercializing patents that the professors and staff at the university innovate. And I saw there was a pitch competition sponsored by Comcast, and my co-founder, Chris Fetro, pitched and won $10,000. And then the staff paired me with Chris to mentor on this project with Dr. Wei, who was a professor at UNM, who started this work at Cornell and MIT. The aluminum CO2 battery uses no lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese, any of these difficult metals. Cobalt having the labor issues we avoid. Lithium is very expensive and difficult to mine and recycle. So I saw this, and the really unique thing is in a flow battery format, the battery can be sealed or in a flow battery. So it could be, in a contained package or in a system that has an electrolyte flowing over a breathing electrode. In that format, it actually can concentrate CO2. So it can act like a direct air capture device. So we have a battery and a direct air capture device, which really enables you to drop the cost of, price per ton of carbon capture. So, all of this, I saw that pitch and I was like, wow, this just is, this is like Nobel worthy. I got to take this to market. And so Chris and I, we did an NREL, the Reach Accelerator after the UNM program, and then we incorporated in May of 2003. And we've been, growing, conducting research, adding staff. We just brought a scientist over Sandia National Labs over to our shop and did the LG battery challenge, and we're waiting to hear the results of that. So just exciting times.
Yeah, wonderful. That does sound really exciting. Also, you've positioned aluminum as a sustainable alternative in battery tech. What makes aluminum CO2 batteries unique compared to traditional lithium-ion solutions?
Yeah, the reaction is quite different. The aluminum oxidizes with the carbon on reaction. And so in the flow battery, it actually concentrates CO2 on the discharge and then releases it on charge where you would sequester. But it's a very, completely different reaction from a lithium-ion battery. Our anode is aluminum and our cathode is carbon. And these aren't a part of the lithium batteries. So it's very unique. Aluminum is just one of the most abundant metals on Earth's crust. Carbon is very, abundant, and it's non-flammable. CO2 actually used to be used in fire extinguishers. So we have a very safe battery. And it is a completely different chemistry and formation than a lithium-ion battery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. And congratulations on winning the $400,000 Advanced Energy Award. Could you tell us more about this recognition and how it's supporting Flow Aluminum's development?
Absolutely. Yes, a group of companies in New Mexico innovating in the clean tech and energy space won amounts. We were one of the larger amounts, the $400,000 from economic development to advance our technology. And what we've done is we've opened our own lab. Out of the gate for the first 8 months, we were leveraging R&D shops out of state. And, it's hard to really get enough time with those shops to really make a fast progress. So, with this money, we've opened a lab just outside the gates to Kirtland Air Force Base and Sandia National Labs and Sandia Tech Park, next to Blue Halo and Rocket Labs. We've really accelerated our pace thanks to this grant, and been able to bring on staff like Luke Sewell from Sandia National Labs and our new CTO, Bob Conrad, who scaled a battery company in Europe, Jenna Batteries. So all of these things were made possible by that grant, and it's non-dilutive, so it takes no ownership. It does not dilute the founder's ownership in the company.
And you mentioned the LG Battery Challenge. You're a finalist in the 2024 Battery Challenge. And what has this experience been like, and what potential impact do you see it having on Flow Aluminum's growth?
Yeah, so we did an interview with their scientists, the PhD level tech team over in Korea last week, and they hit us with some really advanced questions. We actually hired a Korean a Korean student who had gotten a PhD at UT Austin and University of Michigan to help with translation. Actually didn't really need it as much, but they really probed the chemistry and, the cost, these large companies, the cost is so critical. And, they question our ionic liquid electrolyte, how, cost efficient that is. And our scientists have been researching replacing that ionic liquid with urea. So if that's the case, that should be a fraction of the cost of a lithium ion battery electrolyte using urea with aluminum iodide catalyst. Anyway, so, bottom line is, very abundant metal and urea electrolyte. We could, in theory, be 1/10 the cost of a lithium ion battery, which would be massively disruptive and non-flammable and highly recyclable.
All right. Checking some big boxes there.
Yeah. And LG was very interested in the carbon capture to the degree that they asked if we only wanted to buy the carbon capture from you, could we do that? They are very interested in the battery, but they actually are looking at, it sounds like they're looking to add carbon capture to their, portfolio, their company.
Sounds like you're in a good place for collaboration there. Checking so developing new battery technology can be both slow and capital intensive. What strategies are you using to manage these challenges and accelerate R&D at Flow Aluminum?
Yes. So, we leveraged the R&D, these advanced research and development shops like the Battery Innovation Center in Indiana and Novonix and Polaris Battery Labs in Oregon. So, we get these R&D scientists that have a lot of experience and can really add value and accelerate the process. We've been using a consultant off the East Coast that worked with a startup that's in a similar place to us. So, we've been bringing in consultants. We actually have Bob Gallion as an advisor, who was a very early co-founder of CATL, Contemporary Amperex, which is the largest battery company in the world. So his input has been very valuable. So we're bringing in a lot of, brain power to accelerate, and then opening up the lab really, where we can have 24/7 access to the dry box and equipment and really just work. We're exploring other things. There's really some crazy advancements in artificial intelligence, material science, similar to the pharma industry, where it's looking at, different, it can run 1 million combinations of electrolyte chemicals in a very short period of time. So, we're starting to look into that and exploring every way to accelerate, because like you said, it's so capital intensive. But we are interested in scaling the manufacture, and that we're talking 100 million plus, capital raise to do that. And the Department of Energy has some loans in that range that are very low cost, high long term. So we're looking at some of that. But it's going to be a challenge, but we love what we're doing. So
good. Well, glad to hear it, and it sounds incredibly important with what advancements it sounds like y'all are poised to be creating that not just disruptive, but just innovative and really helping things become more sustainable and safe. And so excited to hear y'all sound really poised for this growth and the momentum that y'all are generating. To check too, the energy storage market is highly competitive. How do you approach differentiating Flow Aluminum's products and establishing your technology within the landscape?
Yeah, so we've focused on grid storage, utility scale 3 megawatt hour batteries. These are like 40-foot long batteries that are stored in sea container style enclosures. So in that market, you have Tesla with very expensive lithium-based 3 megawatt hour batteries. They're called Megapacks, and they're $1.5 million. And we can be highly cost competitive against that and non-flammable. And in addition, with our chemistry, we perform really well at extreme temperatures, which is what lithium grid storage has really struggled in the Southwest and up in Northern Canada, which opens up new markets for us that we can be a niche player in extreme temperatures. We're actually doing an exercise with the Department of Defense in the Arctic Circle, vehicle in January to test how low in temperature our batteries can perform. So we have some really unique features there that, we believe we can be highly competitive in the grid storage market in particular.
Amazing. Yeah, got visuals of Teslas on fire, which I'm imagining is probably from the batteries.
It is.
I'm glad to hear y'all are working on those safer solutions. Going into kind of future vision, you're looking to strike a strategic partnership with LG and launch pilot projects. What are your next steps for Flow Aluminum in achieving these goals, and how will you help expand your technologies, or how will they help expand your technology's impact?
Yeah, so we are entering 4 exercises with the DoD. I mentioned the Arctic exercise, and we have a product they're very interested in that we can deliver. So that's a customer that's already in play. LG, we'll see how that comes out. That would be obviously a really strategic partnership, if not a buyout and acquisition. Our hearts are in scaling this in New Mexico, creating jobs. The state really needs to diversify away from oil and gas. It's the second largest oil and gas producer in the country. One of the largest in the world. And so that tax revenue that supports the schools is going to need to be replaced. We'd love to be that revenue. So, we're looking at the DOE, the Department of Energy loans to support the manufacturing. We're working with the state. They gave us the grant. They have job training programs that pay parts of salaries. So we're exploring all of that. Yeah. So, in the near term, really, January is kind of the big milestone, having like a 5 amp hour battery ready for the Arctic exercise, and it will power like a cell phone, and we can demonstrate performance and things like that, and the safety of it. We might even, have the soldiers shoot it to show it doesn't catch on fire. So anyway, that's our short-term target is that exercise, and then following through with LG.
Sounds like, exciting times, really poised for a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
And also, still looking forward, what role do you envision aluminum-based batteries playing in the broader energy landscape?
It is a product that I actually believe can massively disrupt the entire lithium battery market if positioned correctly. Aluminum ion batteries, there's a company out of Australia called GMG that's going to be putting them into mining equipment, which translates to EV. So, a variation of this could be an EV battery. And in the grid storage, we believe our cost point, our safety and performance, we could replace the entire grid storage market, but that's not super realistic. So right now our focus is on the grid storage market. We believe we can achieve a large market share, though, if we make it through the gauntlet of scaling production, which is very challenging and complex. Manufacturing batteries there's so many variables in play, but I do believe this battery technology, the aluminum ion and aluminum CO2 batteries, could replace almost the entire lithium ion battery industry. So,
This is an exciting conversation.
yeah.
To understand some of the as Flow Aluminum scales, are there specific resources or partnerships that could help expedite your process, particularly in terms of R&D or commercialization?
Yes. So, LG obviously, and then Fluence, we actually added the director of systems engineering from Fluence, which is a company created by Siemens, which is a massive European engineering conglomerate. So we added a director to our board. Early stage, when we're making cells and packs, Fluence would be an ideal customer and or partner. So that's a relationship we're developing through that board member. And then we are talking to Rio Tinto on a partnership for supply chain, really leveraging their recycled aluminum supply chain. And then some US-based chemical suppliers for our electrolytes. The military is really interested in the full domestic supply chain, which is another big advantage we can have, because we would have no dependency on foreign countries, which is a big drawback of lithium batteries. Almost every lithium battery technology has some piece of the supply chain overseas, China, some of these other countries. So those are the partnerships. We're talking to LG, working with Fluence, then working with Rio Tinto on the supply chain side, and PVS Chemicals out of Michigan on the electrolyte side. And then, we'd love to partner with Tesla and help them make the transition away from lithium batteries. We haven't been able to really contact the right people there, and other, there's several other grid storage, ESS, other companies that would be good partners.
Probably, I can only speculate, but as y'all are gaining more and more traction there, it sounds like it's going to be either kind of a adapt or die kind of situation for companies like Tesla, who, unsafe and unsustainable options. And if y'all are just being able to perform better, cheaper, and in those different kinds of environments, it sounds like it's going to be a no-brainer switch over?
Yeah, and actually the big piece I actually left out is the long duration is what the Department of Energy and the utilities are really, that's the movement to batteries that are 10-hour plus. I believe the mega packs are all in the 3 to 4 hour. For example, powering 3,000 houses for 3 or 4 hours before they are fully discharged. Where our battery is at 10 to 12 hours. Which is, the threshold that the Department of Energy has is 10 hours. Companies like Form Energy, which is an iron flow battery, are hitting up to 100-hour duration. They have some drawbacks. They're not as durable as us, and they're very large and unwieldy. But we have that long duration piece that will replace lithium ion with a short-term duration storage.
You mentioned a little bit about this, but what types of clients or collaborators are you looking to work with as you expand Flow Aluminum's reach and application?
Yes. So Fluence, we just last week brought the Fluence director on. Really want to grow that relationship. LG, if that interview went well and things went well, we'd love to cultivate that relationship. The military, we've got 4 exercises next year, and they're very excited about domestic supply chain and things like that and the safety. We want to scale that. And eventually, we definitely want to get the carbon capture piece moving, and LG might accelerate that, and then partner with companies, maybe the big tech companies that are looking for carbon capture alternatives. And then, I believe that we can do EV batteries eventually down the roadmap. And a space, we've actually had some conversations with very large private rocket companies, if we can hit some numbers for them, it's great, a great space battery on the temperature performance and the safety aspects. So that would be really fun, in my opinion, to work with some of these rocket and satellite companies.
Yeah, going into the new age, the proper technology to be able to do that. Well, I've got one more question. We can highlight anything else too if I might have missed, but I'm curious, what excites you most about the future of energy storage and Flow Aluminum's role in advancing clean energy?
Yeah. So, it's accelerating. You may have seen that Tesla had, blowout earnings last week, and it was almost all from their mega packs, their grid storage battery market. It's scaling so fast. We're going to ride that train, and then we can deliver the CO2 as we capture as well. So we can really just have such a positive impact. It keeps me passionate every day to know that we can bring a safer battery that won't burn people, is less pollutive, that we're addressing the labor issues and mining cobalt in Africa. There's so many dynamics to this that you just wake up every day and are so excited about it.
Yeah, I love to hear that. Is there any kind of either from the impact side or just anything else a part of Flow Aluminum that I didn't think to ask on, or that you just feel is important to share about for the audience?
Well, it's been pretty comprehensive. Yeah, I think we've covered just about everything. I think there's so many international opportunities. We're in Dubai, and we're looking at working with their utilities there, powering desalination. We're looking at doing a pilot in India. Aluminum's very abundant there. And then South Africa, a partnership there. We'd love to do big business on the continent of Africa and provide a lower cost battery that can really help disadvantaged populations. So yeah, like I said, there's so many angles to this that are so positive. It's really just fun.
I love to hear that it's not just beneficial for the world, for business, but the individuals, yourself and others, I imagine, are feeling a rewarding sense of being able to be part of this mission and the impacts that y'all are making. So grateful to hear about that. Well, glad to hear that it was comprehensive as well. Wanted to really give a chance to highlight and showcase what y'all are up to. So thank you for making time to come on and share, and for sharing your journey, your insights. And I'm eager to see how Flow Aluminum continues to improve, innovate in sustainable energy storage.
Thank you, Tim. This has been excellent.
Wonderful, wonderful.